по-русски и буду говорить на русском, чтобы ни одна часть истории не ускользнула от вас. Итак, 1912 год. Вечер, весна. Промышленный городок Центральной Англии. Столовая Сьюберн.
You know the boat, Edna? That's right. You ought to like this boat, Gerald. Pritchard told me it's exactly the same boat your father gets from him.
Oh, that'll be alright, but I don't pretend to know much about it.
I should have known Gerald. I hated to know all about God, like one of his purple-faced old men.
Here, I'm not a purple-faced old man.
No, not yet. But then you don't know all about God, do you?
Go on, Sibyl, you must take a little tonight.
Yes, go on, Mommy. You must drink our health.
Very well, just a little, thank you. All right, Edna, I'll ring from the drawing room when you want coffee. Probably in about half an hour. Yes, ma'am.
Well, this is very nice, very nice. Good dinner too, Sibyl.
Absolutely first class.
Arthur, you're not supposed to say such things.
Here, I'm treating Gerald like a part of the family. I'm sure he won't object.
In fact, I insist upon being one as a family member now. I've been trying long now, haven't I? Haven't I? You know I have.
Of course she is grateful.
Yes, except for all last summer when you never came near me.
And I've told you, I was overly busy at work all the time.
Gerald, it's one of the happiest nights in my life. Your engagement to Sheila means tremendous lot to me. Sheila's a lucky girl and you're a pretty fortunate young man too, Gerald.
I know I am. This once anyhow.
So, here's the wishing to the pair of you. The very best that life can bring. Gerald and Sheila.
Yes, Gerald and Sheila, our congratulations and very best wishes.
Thank you.
Eric.
All the best. She's got a nasty temper sometimes, but she's not bad really. Good old Sheila.
Chum, I can't refuse it. Can I?
You can drink to me.
All right then. I drink to you, Gerald.
Thank you. And I drink to you. And I hope I can make you as happy as you deserve to be.
Oh, you be careful. I'll stop living.
Oh. Well, perhaps it will help to stop it.
Gerald, you've got it. Is it the one you wanted me to have?
Yes, it's a very.
Oh, it's wonderful. Look, Mommy, isn't it a beauty? Oh, darling.
Steady the box.
I think it's perfect. Now I really feel engaged.
So your darling, it's a lovely ring. Be careful with it. Well, don't keep Gerald in here too long.
Have another glass of port?
Yes, please. Mother says we mustn't split a room, but I don't think it matters. I left him talking about clothes again. You'd think a girl had never had any clothes before she gets married. Women are potty about them.
Yes, but you've got to remember, my boy, that clothes means something quite different to women. Not just something to wear, but a sort of sign or token of their self-respect.
That's true.
Yes, I remember.
Well, what do you remember?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Sounds a bit fishy to me.
Yes, you don't know that some of these boys get up to nowadays. Though, even then, we had a bit of fun sometimes.
I'll bet you did.
But this is the point. A man has to mind his own business, to care about himself and his own, and
Somebody at the front door.
no answer it. Have another glass of port, Gerald.
Please, sir. An inspector's called.
An inspector? What kind of inspector?
A police inspector. He says his name is Inspector Group.
Don't know him. Does he want to see me?
Yes, sir. He says it's important.
All right, then show him in here.
Inspector Group.
Mr. Brolin?
Yes. Sit down, Inspector.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Have a glass of water?
Oh, no, thank you, Mr. Berlin. I am on duty.
You're new, aren't you?
Yes, only recently transferred.
I thought you must be. I was an alderman for years, so I know Bramley police officers pretty well. And I'm sure I had never seen you before.
Quite so.
Well, what can I do for you?
I'd like some information if you don't mind, Mr. Berlin. 2 hours ago, a young woman died in the infirmary. She swallowed a lot of strong disinfectant. Burned her inside out.
My God.
Yet she was in great agony. Suicide.
Yes. For a business, but I don't understand why should you come here, Inspector?
She left a letter there in the sort of diary. Her original name, her real name, was Eva Smith.
Eva.
Do you remember her, Mr. Berlin?
Oh, I seem to remember hearing that name, but I don't understand where I come into this.
Вы помните меня, мистер Бёртон? Я одна из тех девушек, которых попросила на несколько шиллингов больше, к тем грошам, чтобы нам платили.
She was employed in work at one time.
Oh, that's it. Well, we have several hundred young women here, and you know they keep changing.
I found a photograph of her in her lodge, and perhaps you remember her from that?
Any particular reason why I shouldn't see this girl photograph, Inspector?
There might be.
And the same applies to me, I suppose?
Yes, it's way I like to go to work, one person at a time. And I think you remember Eva Smith now, don't you, Mr. Berlin?
Yes. She was one of my employees, and then I discharged her.
Is it why she committed suicide? When was this, Father?
Just keep quiet, Eric. She left us nearly 2 years ago.
Yes, end of September 1910.
That's right.
Look here, sir. Wouldn't you rather I was out of this?
I don't mind you being here, Gerald.
Mr. Gerald Croft, yeah?
Yes. We were celebrating his engagement to my daughter, Shayla.
I see. Mr. Croft is going to marry Miss Shayla Bird.
I hope so.
So I prefer to stay.
Oh, all right. Look, there's nothing scandalous about this business, Inspector.
I cannot believe that.
Why?
Because what happened to her then may have determined what happened to her afterwards. And what happened to her afterwards may have driven her to suicide. A chain of events.
Well, still I can't accept any responsibility. If we were all responsible for everything, it would be very awkward, wouldn't it?
Very awkward.
By Jove, yes. And as you were saying that, man has to look after himself.
But we needn't go into all that. No, about this girl, Eva Smith. I remember her quite well now. She'd been working in one of our machine shops for over a year. But after they come back from their holidays, that's August, they all were restless. So they decided to ask for more money. So they could have about 25 shillings a week. I refused, of course.
Why?
Did you say why?
Конечно, он отказал. Обвинил в забастовке и уволил. Чужие проблемы не его забота. Семья Берлингов равнодушна к чувствам простых людей.
Yes, why did you refuse?
Well, Inspector, it's not your concern how I choose to run my business, is it?
There might be no.
I don't like the tone. It's my duty to keep labor costs down, and if I agreed to these demands, we'd have added about 12% to our labor costs. So I refused. Said I couldn't consider it. If they didn't like those rates, they Could go and work somewhere else. It's a free country, I told them.
It isn't if you can't go and work somewhere else.
Why so?
Just to keep out of this. So, they went on strike. It didn't last long, of course. And then we let all of them to come back. At the old rates. Except 4 or 5 ringleaders. And this girl, Eva Smith, was one of them. So she had to go.
You couldn't have done anything else.
Well, I think it's a damn shame. I mean about this girl, Eva Smith. Why shouldn't we try for the higher wages? We try for the highest possible prices. You said yourself she was a good worker. I'd have let her stay.
I said the girl to clear out. So she went. What happened to with that girl after she left my works? Gets into trouble, go on streets.
No, she didn't exactly go on the street.
После фабрики мне удалось найти работу в ателье Милварда. Работа была прекрасной, но порой молодые девушки бывают слишком эмоциональные. Не исключением была и мисс Бёрли. Во время примерки платья она сочла мою улыбку неуместной и после настояла на моем увольнении.
What's this about streets? Oh, sorry, I didn't know. Mommy sent me to ask you why you didn't come along to the drawing room.
We shall be alone in a minute now, just finishing.
I'm afraid not.
What's all this about?
Nothing to do with you, Shayla.
Wait a minute, Miss Gray.
Look here, Inspector. I don't see the slightest reason why my daughter should be dragged into this business.
What business?
I'm a police inspector, Miss Berlin. This afternoon, a young woman drank some disinfectant and died after several hours of agony tonight in the infirmary.
Oh, how horrible. Was it an accident?
No, she felt she couldn't go on any longer.
Don't tell me that's because I discharged her from my employment.
Did you dare?
Yes, the girl been causing trouble in the works. I was justified.
Of course you will. Don't look like that, Cheryl.
Oh, sorry. I can't help thinking about that girl. What was she like? Quite young?
Yes, 24.
Pretty?
She wasn't pretty when I saw her today, but she had been pretty, very pretty.
We cannot help you there because we cannot possibly know anything more.
Are you sure you don't know?
Look here, Inspector. You're not going to tell us that somebody here knows something about this girl?
Yes.
So you didn't come here just to see me, then?
No.
What do you mean by saying that? You talk as if you were responsible.
I told you that she used more than one name, but she was still even me when Mr. Grow inside her.
I think it was a mean thing to do.
Rubbish. So what happened to her?
After 2 months, with no money coming in and living in lodging, lonely, half-starved, she was feeling desperate.
I should think so. It's a rotten shame.
Oh, there are a lot of young women living this sort of existence in this country, Miss Brown. If there weren't, the factories wouldn't know where to look for a cheap labor. Ask your father.
What's happened to her then?
She was taken on in a shop, in a good shop, Millwards.
Millwards, we go there. Yeah, she was lucky to be taken on at Millwards.
Yeah, that's what she thought. It was a nice change from a factory. She enjoyed being among pretty clothes, I think.
And then she got herself into trouble, I suppose.
After about a couple of months, a customer complained about her, and so she had to go.
When was this?
End of January last year.
What? What did this girl do?
If you'll come over here, I'll show you.
What's the matter with her?
She recognized her from the photograph, didn't she?
Yes.
We were having a nice family celebration tonight. And the nasty mess you've made of it now, didn't you?
Oh, that's what I was thinking earlier tonight when I was looking at what was left of Eva's meal. A nice little promising life there, I thought. And a nasty mess somebody's made of it.
I'd like to have a look at the photograph now, Inspector.
All in a good time.
I'm sorry, but you see, we were having a little party and I've got a few drinks and I've got a headache. I think I'd better turn.
I think we better stay here.
Why should I?
It might be less trouble.
After all, we are respectable citizens and not criminals.
Oh, sometimes there isn't much different as you think. And often, if it was left to me, I wouldn't know where to draw the line. Well, Miss Berlin,
You knew it was me all the time, didn't you? Did it make much difference to you?
I'm afraid it did. It was the last really steady job she had. And when she lost it, she decided that she might try another kind of life.
So I'm really responsible?
Не плачьте, Шейла. Не вы одна, мы все виноваты.
Oh, no, not entirely, but you are partly to blame.
But what did Sheila do?
I went to the manager at Millwoods and told him if they didn't get rid of that girl, I'd never go near the place again.
Why did you do that?
Because I was in a furious temper. When I was looking at myself in the mirror, I caught a sight of her smiling at her sister, and I was furious with her. I know, it was my own fault. Oh, Gerald, you needn't look at me like that. I expect you've done things you're ashamed of, too.
So, in fact, in a kind of way, you had been jealous of her.
Yes, I suppose so.
And so you used the power you had to punish the girl just because she made you feel like that?
Yes, but it didn't seem to be anything very terrible at the time. And if I could help her now, I would.
Yes, but you cannot. It's too late. She's dead. Now, Eva Smith has to leave Millwoods and had to try something else. And first, she changed her name to Daisy Renton.
What? Do you mind if I give myself introduction?
Я потеряла работу на фабрике, была вынуждена уйти из ателье. Мне ничего не оставалось делать, как пойти по иной дорожке. И для начала пришлось сменить имя на Дейзи Рентон. Кажется, милый Джеральд не забыл его.
Well, Gerald,
Well, what, Sheila?
how did you come to know this girl, Eva Smith?
I didn't.
Daisy Renton, then it's the same thing.
Now listen, darling.
No, that's no use. You not only knew her, but you knew her very well. When did you just get to know her? Were seeing her all last spring and summer when you hardly came near me? And said you were so busy, were you? Yes, of course we were.
Don't come to the suicide business. I was all over and done with it last summer.
I thought you didn't have an hour ago.
For God's sake, don't say anything to the inspector.
Why? You fool. He knows.
Well,
You see?
Inspector, I think Miss Goring ought to be excused of this question.
He means I'm getting hysterical now.
well, I don't want to keep you here.
But you haven't finished asking questions, have you?
No.
You see? Then I'm staying.
Why should you? It won't be unpleasant.
Oh, and you think the young women ought to be protected against unpleasant things?
If it is possible, yes.
But we know one woman who wasn't, don't we? I can tell you why Miss Brolin wants to stay on. The girl died tonight. The pretty girl who never did anybody any harm. But she died in misery and agony, hating life.
Don't, please. I know. No, and I can stop thinking about it
And
now.
Miss Brolin just had been made to understand what she did to this girl. And if she leaves us now, she'll be alone with her responsibility. You see, we have to share something. If there is nothing else, we have to share our guilt.
Good evening, Inspector.
Good evening, madam.
I'm Mrs. Berlin. You know, I don't think we can help you much.
No, mother. Will started like that, so confident until he began asking us questions.
Oh, you look tired, dear. I think you ought to go to bed.
Mother, I couldn't possibly go.
Nothing but morbid curiosity nowadays. Please, don't contradict me like that. And in any case, I don't suppose that we can understand why the girl committed suicide.
No, mother, please. Well, you must not try to build up a wall between us and that girl. And if you do, then the inspector will just break it down.
Do you?
Yes, and she's right.
I beg your pardon. If necessary, I should be glad to answer any questions the inspector wishes to ask me. Though naturally I don't know anything about this girl.
We'll see, Mrs. Berlin.
I've been trying to persuade Eric to go to bed, but he won't. Now he tells that you said him to stay up. Did you?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because I shall want to talk to him.
If you must, then I suggest you to do it now. Get it over, then let the letter go.
I'm sorry, but he'll have to wait.
You see? No, I don't. Please be quiet, Sheila.
Inspector, I've told you before, I don't like that tone.
Well, come along. What is it you want to know?
This girl, Eva Smith, has to leave Millward because Miss Berlin compelled them to discharge her. And then she became Daisy Renton. Mr. Croft, when did you first get to know her?
What? All right. If you must, I heard. I met her first somewhere in March last year in the Palace Music Bar.
Well, we didn't think you were back in the past.
Thanks, you're going to be a great help, I can see.
Yes, Mr. Croft, in the Stolba of the Palace Variety Theatre.
The show was boring, and I went down into the bar for a drink. It is a favorite haunt of women of the town.
Women of the town?
Look here, I see no point in mentioning the subject, especially.
It would be much better if Sheila didn't listen to the story at all.
But you're forgetting I'm supposed to be engaged to Hillary. Go on, Jill. You went into the bar, which is a favorite haunt of women of the town.
I'm glad I'm using it. I didn't propose to stay long down there, but then I noticed a girl. She was very pretty, soft blonde hair and big blue eyes. Sorry, I just suddenly realized that she's dead.
Yes, she's dead.
And probably between us we killed her.
Sheila, don't talk nonsense.
You wait, mother.
She was charming and altogether out of this place. Old fat man wedged her into a corner, and so I went across and told him some nonsense. And then Shadette suggested that she would live with me. She agreed.
And where did you go?
Really? Alone to the country hotel, we was drink or two and talked.
Did she drink much at the time?
No. Sometimes later I asked her a question about herself. She said that her name was Daisy Renton. Daisy was tired from work and was desperately hard up.
And then you decided to keep her as your mistress?
What? Of course, mother. It was obvious from the start. Go on, Jill.
Then we met again. It happened that my friends had gone off for 6 months and given me the key from his rooms. So I insisted on Daisy moving in these rooms. I helped her not because I could make love for her, but because I was sorry for her.
I see. Yes, but why are you saying that to him? You should say that to me.
Yes, I should share.
But she
somehow.
became your mistress.
I think it was inevitable. She was young and pretty. I became the most important person in her life, don't you think?
Yes, she was a woman, she was lonely. We were in love with her.
Just what I was going to
I
say.
really must protest.
Why should you? It was you who turned the girl out in the first place.
What I was going to say, that I protest against the way in which my daughter, a young married girl, is dragged into this.
It was I who had the girl turned out of her job. And I'm supposed to be engaged to Gerald. And I'm not a child, don't forget.
Very lucky, Gerald. So, it's really hard to say, but I didn't feel it about her as she felt about me.
Of course not, you were the wonderful fairy prince. You must have adored Gerald.
All right, I did it for a time nearly any man would have done.
At least it's honest. Did you go and see her every night?
No, but of course I did see a video.
I don't think we want any further details of this disgusting affair.
I do.
Is there anything more you would like to know?
Yes, when did this affair end?
In the first week of September, by the time Daisy knew that it was coming to the end. So I broke it off definitely.
How did she take it?
Better than I hoped. She didn't blame me at all. I wish the God they had not.
Did she
Perhaps
tell you?
I feel better about it.
Did she tell you what she proposed to do after you left her?
No, but I've got the idea that she thought about leaving Bromley, did she?
Yes, she went away for about a month to some seaside place. She kept a sort of diary, and she said there that she had to go away and remember just make it last longer. She felt there'd never be anything as good again for her.
I would like to be alone for a while. I'd be glad if you let me go.
All right, Mr. Brock.
But just in case you forget, or decide not to come back, I think it's better take.
Well, I was expecting.
I don't dislike it as it happened right now. In fact, I really respect you more than I ever done before. But this is my difference. We should start all over again. Getting to know each other.
Now, Shayla, you must understand. It's a lot of young
Don't
men.
interfere, Father. John knows what I mean.
Well, really, I think it's just about come to an end of this wretched business.
I don't think so.
С мистером Крыловым мы познакомились в марте прошлого года в баре. Он спас меня от приставания пьяного мужчины. Мы зашли в отель, где долго разговаривали. Джерекс узнал о том, что меня выселяют, и предложил поселиться в квартире своего приятеля, пока тот в отъезде. Мне некуда было пойти, поэтому я согласилась. Потом я стала его любовницей.
You have a photograph of this girl?
Yes, and I think you'd better look at it.
I don't see any particular reason why I should.
Probably not, but you'd better look at it.
Very well.
You recognize her?
No, why should I?
Mrs. Burley. You are a prominent member of the Brownie Charity Women Organization, aren't you?
Yes, she is. Why?
It's an organization to which women in distress can appeal for help.
Yes, we've done a great deal of useful work in helping in certain cases.
There was a meeting of the committee 2 weeks ago.
I did say there was.
You were in the chair.
And if I was, what business is it of yours?
Where's Eric?
Eric probably just gone to work. He'll be back soon.
I hope so.
And why should you hope so?
I'll explain you why and you answer my question, Mrs. Burley. Mrs. Burley spoke to and so ill of me only 2 weeks ago.
Mother!
Is this true?
Yes, quite true.
Did she appeal to your organization for help?
Yes.
Not at Evansmith.
No as Daisy Renton.
At what then?
First she called herself Mrs. Burley.
Mrs. Burley?
Naturally, that was one of the things that prejudiced me against her case.
Mother, she's just died. Don't forget.
I'm very sorry, but I think she had only herself to blame.
Was it owing your influence that Hell refused the girl?
Yes, it was. I began questioning her and find out that she wasn't married and that the story she told about, at first about a husband who deserted her was quite false.
walls. Why did she want help?
I wasn't satisfied with the girl's claim. I did my duty. You have no power to make me change my mind.
Yes, I have. But I think you did something terribly wrong, and you are going to spend the rest of your life regretting it.
No, not that again. I've imagined it enough already.
Just remember that this girl was going to have a child.
Oh, how horrible. How could you have wanted to kill herself?
Because she had been turned down too many times.
Look here, this wasn't Gerald Croft.
Oh no, nothing to do with it.
Thank goodness for that.
I'll tell you what I told her. Go and look for the father of the child. It's his responsibility.
She went to you for help when no woman would have needed it more. She was here alone, friendless, almost penniless, desperate, and you slammed the door in her face.
Мне пришлось обратиться в благотворительное общество города Брамли, где миссис Бёрли была председателем. Я не случайно представилась под фамилией Бёрли. Я ждала ребенка. Нет, это не ребенок Джеральда. Но она разозлилась и отказала мне в помощи. Сказала разыскать отца. Пускай он помогает. Если бы она знала, кто отец, как именно он помогает.
Mother, I think it was cruel and bad.
It was her business to make the father responsible. If he refused to marry her, he must at least support her.
What did she reply to that?
He had given her money, but she didn't want to take any more money from him. I didn't believe a word of it.
I don't ask if you believe it. Why didn't she want to take any more money from this boy?
His story was that it wasn't his money. He'd stolen it.
So, she went to you for help because she didn't want to take any stolen money.
I accept no blame for it at all.
Who is to blame then?
The young man who was the father of the child.
Mother, stop, stop.
Be quiet, Shayla.
And if you take some steps to find this young man, you really would be doing your duty.
Don't worry, Mrs. Burley. I shall do my duty. I'm waiting.
Waiting for what?
To do my duty.
No, Mother, don't you see?
But surely, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Look here, Inspector. You're not telling us that my boy is mixed up in this.
If he is, we know what to do, don't we? Mrs. Burley just has told us.
I don't believe it. I won't believe it.
My God. But look here.
You know, don't you?
Yes, we know.
Oh, Eric, how could you? There must be some mistake.
Mother's been busy blaming everything on the young man who got this girl into trouble.
That's enough, Shayla.
It was you. Besides you don't get drowned.
Of course he does.
I must to hear what your son has to tell me.
Could I have a drink first?
Yes?
No.
I know, he's your son and this is your house, but look at him. He needs a drink now just to see him thawed.
All right, go.
Well, when did you first meet this girl?
One night last November,
Where did you meet her?
in the Palace Bar.
What happened then?
I began talking to her and stirred her a few drinks.
And you went with her in her lodging that night?
Yes, I insisted, it seems. I'm not very clear about it, but afterwards she told me she didn't want me to go in. But that... Well, I woke in that state when I checked Isidore Torrance nasty, and I threatened to make her roll.
So she let you in?
Yes, and that's when it happened. And I didn't even remember. That's the hellish thing. Oh my God, how stupid it all is!
Eric, how could you?
Shayla, take your mother alone to the drawing room. Don't.
Эрик был пьяный настойчив. Просился устроить скандал, если я не впущу его к себе. Мы встретились в том же баре через 2 недели. Он едва меня помнил. Мне было жаль его. Он казался маленьким ребенком.
you meet her again?
About a fortnight afterwards.
By appointment?
No, I haven't seen her again in the palace bar.
More drinks?
Yes, though that time I wasn't so bad.
And you took her home again?
Yes, and that time we talked a bit. She told me something about herself, and I told her my name and what I did.
And you made love again?
Yes, I wasn't in love with her or anything, but I liked her. She was pretty.
So you had to go to bed with her?
Well, I'm old enough to be married, aren't I? And I'm not married, and I hate these fat old tarts around the town. The ones I've seen some of your respectable friends with.
I don't want any of that talk from you.
I don't want any of it from either of you. Did you arrange to see each other after that?
Yes. And the next time she told me she was going to have a baby.
And she was very worried about it?
Yes, and so was I.
Did she suggest that you ought to marry her?
No, she didn't want me to marry her. Said I didn't like her and all that. In a way, she treated me as if I were a kid.
And what did you propose to do?
Well, I insisted on giving her enough money to keep her going, until she refused to take any more.
How did you give her all together?
I suppose about 50 pounds all told.
Where did you get 50 pounds from?
That's my question too.
Got it. From the office.
My office.
Yes.
Да, ребенок был от Эрика. Свадьбу мы не хотели, любви между нами не было. Он предложил помогать деньгами, когда узнал о ребенке. Если бы я знала, что он украл их у отца, я больше не хотела его видеть.
Well, I can tell you what's happening. He's admitted he was responsible for the girl's condition, so he decided to supply her with the money. He stole from the office.
Eric, you stole money. No, not really. I intended to pay it back.
You damned fool. Why didn't you come to me? Then you found yourself in this mess.
Because you're not the kind of father a chap could go to when he's in trouble. That's why.
Don't talk to me like that. Your
And
trouble
my
is...
trouble is that I haven't much time. Just one last question, that's all. The girl discovered that the money you were given to her was stolen, didn't she?
Yes. Here. But how did you know this? Did she tell you?
She told mother.
Sheila.
Well, he has to know.
Did she come here? But didn't even know I lived here. What happened?
She went to your mother's committee for help. Your mother refused that help.
Then you killed her. She came to you to protect me, and you turned her away. Yes, you killed her, and the child should have had too. My child, your own grandchild. You killed them both. Damn you!
Eric, I didn't know. I didn't understand.
You don't understand anything. You never did. You never even tried.
You damned fool. Get that out.
Stop! And be quiet for a moment and listen to me. The girl killed herself and died a horrible death. But each of you helped to kill her. Remember that. Never forget it.
My God, I'm not likely to forget.
Use her for the end of the stupid drunken evening, just she was an animal, a thing, not a person. Oh, you won't forget.
I know. I've had Fortune under control. I started it.
You helped, but didn't start it. You started. She wanted 25 shillings a week instead of 22 and sixpence.
Look here, Inspector. I think thousands, yes, thousands.
Oh, you offered the money at the wrong time, Mr. Brown. Just remember that. One Eva Smith has gone, but there are millions and millions and millions of Eva Smith and John Smith left without, and intertwined with our lives and what we think and say and do. We don't live alone.
scandal.
Well, I don't care now.
You don't seem to care about anything. But I was almost certain for the knighthood in the next on the list.
Oh, for God's sake, what does it matter now? Well, I don't blame you, but don't forget, I'm ashamed of you as well.
Drop that. There's every excuse for both your mother and I did. It turned out, unfortunately, that's all.
That's all.
Well, what have you to say?
I behaved badly too, but now you're beginning all over again to pretend that nothing much has happened. The point is you don't seem to have enough. But it's clear. Very clear. I know it doesn't touch me now, but what's he really, police inspector?
Well, I must say his manner was quite extraordinary. So rude and assertive.
This fellow obviously didn't like us. He was prejudiced from the start. Now, who's this?
It's Mr. Croft. I hope you don't mind my coming back. No, of course not, Gerald. I had a special reason for coming. When did the inspector go?
Only a few minutes ago.
You know something? What's it?
This man wasn't a police officer. I'm almost certain. I met a police sergeant I know down the road and asked him about this Inspector Who. He's sure that there isn't any Inspector Who or anybody like him on the force here.
By jingo. Fake. I'm going to call up Chief Constable, Colonel Roberts. Gordon speaking? Oh, Roberts. Gordon speaking. Sorry for ringing you up so late, but can you tell me if an Inspector Gould has joined your staff lately? Gould. Goole. Newman? Tall? Clean-shaven? Oh, that settles it. Thank you. Good night. There's no Inspector Gould in Brownie Police.
I felt it all the time. He never talked like one. He never even looked like one.
This makes a difference, you know.
I suppose we're honest people now.
But what do we have of this business now? Was it a hoax?
Of course.
You begin to pretend now that nothing's really happened, but this girl is still dead, isn't she?
That's just what I feel, Alec. And it's what they don't seem to understand. You are beginning to pretend that nothing's really happened.
Look at it. A man's come here pretending to be a police officer, and now, what does he do? Very openly she bluffs us into confessing that we all been mixed up in this girl's life, one way or another.
And so we have.
But how do you know it was the same girl? We've no proof that it was the same photograph, and therefore no proof it was the same girl.
There you are, you see. No police inquiry. No one girl that all this happened to. No scandal.
And no suicide?
We can settle that at once by ringing up the infirmary. Either there is that girl or there isn't. Is it the infirmary? Yes, this is Mr. Gerard Croft of Croft Limited. Have you had a girl brought this afternoon who committed suicide? Yes, I'll wait. Yes, you're almost certain? Alright, thank you very much. Good time. No girl who has died in there today.
There you are, you see. Proof positive. The whole story is just a lot of moonshine. Have another glass of vodka, Gerald. Come on, Shayla. Don't look at me like that. All over now.
There was Paris. But you're forgetting one thing I can still forget. Everything you said had happened, really had happened. And if it didn't end tragically, then dislike it prefers. But it might have done.
But everything is different now. You can't see it, can't you?
You pretended everything was supposed to be.
I'm not.
No, but then criticize out.
Well, isn't it?
So nothing to be sorry for. Nothing to learn.
Now, look at the pair of them. A famous, young generation who know it all. And they can even make a joke. Building speaking? What? There. This was the police. A girl just died right on her way to the infirmary after swallowing some disinfectant. And the police inspector is on the way here to ask some questions.